And with that, here we go. Oh, okay. Great. Good afternoon. I'm Nancy Benovich-Gilby, VP of Engineering at Asurion Mobile Applications. Asurion Mobile and Asurion are the largest worldwide provider of protection services. We recently announced a new application, primarily for the Android phone, or first for the Android phone, called Address Book. It's a socially connected address book. Yes, I know. We all have a socially connected address book, but our address book has two unique components to it that actually plug right into the native address book on an Android phone. One is our engagement platform, and two is our contextual matching services. So I'd like to just give you a quick demo. First of all, I'll just start with an open contact here. I have the ability to look at information, the usual information for a contact. But what happens if I want to see something else? I want to add a new service. I want to add Hi-Fi network that isn't currently available as a connected, as part of my native connected socially address book. So for example, what if I want to add YouTube? I should have the ability, and guess what? This provides, or Asurion Mobile provides the ability to take an application and plug it, a third-party application, plug it directly into the address book as an add-on service. So now, for example, not only can I see my Facebook and my Twitter stream for a contact, I can see all the favorites for a YouTube video of the contacts that I care about, and likewise, I can see the wish list for Amazon. We've got quite an incredible return on our engagement model. At this point, we're very early, but we have over 6 to 8 minutes of engagement with the address book per day per user. And that's not talking on a telephone call. Second, I'd like to talk about our contextual matching service. Now, we all know that awareness and finding the right service and context is the holy grail that we've all been talking about. We Asurion Mobile Applications actually deliver this. So for example, I can take an existing contact, in this case Central Park Beach Row, and I will be notified that there's services out there that might be relevant to me. In this case, it's asking me if I'd like to attach a restaurant service to provide reservations. Immediately in my contact, I have the regular details, and if I can get the light right.
If you dim your screen resolution, that should be better.
So immediately, I have the ability, with one click, to now get open table reservations. Now, I might be a user that doesn't know anything about existing applications on the phone or open table, and this looks very simple to do. But we use our contextual matching services and our patented technology to find the services and attach them in context, such that the user is actually placed at that restaurant on today's date at a reasonable default time. So we provide the ability to really have more power per click. And we've been working on this product. It's new to the market. It's currently available for distribution. Either our components, our matching engine, or our engagement platform can be licensed to plug into an existing address book, either individually or together. Now, may I ask questions? Okay. For the panel, what would you require of a company like ours to plug into our engagement platform or contextual matching engine into your address book?
So from a BlackBerry perspective, all of the APIs are available to integrate with the address book. And I think it's great that you did that with your app, because that's how you integrate into the everyday experience that a user already has with their phone.
But we do have, we actually, Asurion Mobile, provide services on every single platform that's available out there, including RIM. We are the white labeled mobile backup provider for AT&T, for example. However, your address book does not currently have the flexibility to plug things in. We would have to work with you directly to be able to allow third parties to plug in an existing application rather than having your own developers continue to add additional services. And that's really what users want. They want deep connection They want to be able to respond. They don't want to just be socially connected and see status. And they want to be able to have a choice. None of us are going to be able to provide the full choice. We need the address book to be a platform.
On the solution that you provide, or the solution that you are using right now, is it using the content provider interfaces for adding stuff into the...
We're using intent filters from Android and the Android application framework. That doesn't mean that other application frameworks on the phone, I mean, RIM would be a prime example, or Symbian, or Windows Mobile, or maybe someday iPhone, to plug these type of services in. It's not rocket science, but it's the idea of thinking about the address book and thinking about these key solutions on the phone as a platform rather than your own application. Okay, one last question. Is it important to you to take your current socially connected address book to the next level with discovery services and new monetization opportunities such as our smart contacts that I demonstrated with OpenTable?
If I may. So, from a Sony Ericsson perspective, absolutely this is very important. If you look at where we're going in regards to the extent and with a completely new communication-driven UI, with the total integration of everything around your social sphere and your social life, ability to plug in anyone, not only Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and the others, but everyone in every local market anywhere on the globe. So for us, absolutely, this is spot on.
Okay.
Does anybody? We have just a few more minutes before we wrap up here on this one, but no, you get 5 minutes for your talk, which you did, and then we have some time to respond here. So, what do you guys think of this application, and where do you think it could potentially play in the marketplace? What do you think about the distribution? Is it competitive to what you guys are already doing on your own platforms?
So in some cases, yes. However, we believe in the open environment, so therefore there should be multiple choices and freedom of choice for the consumers to choose. Now, that being said, the question I ask myself, of course, people like ourselves, and I guess my colleagues in the industry are all thinking pretty much down the same path. If we do that, what does it mean for you? And how do you compete? And furthermore, how do you make money with your app?
That's probably a topic of a whole nother discussion, but you can imagine what we might be doing with contextual services and putting them in context and transaction-based revenue, because in fact this is advertising on hypersteroids. If a user puts a relevant piece of data that they care about, like Central Park Cafe in their address book, it's important to them. Everybody in the value chain should know that it's important and treat that wisely and offer them services that are going to be valuable to that piece of data. So when we do that, it becomes valuable not only to us, but valuable OpenTable, and perhaps valuable for the mobile operator if they're distributing this on a basis, or very valuable for the OEM if they're distributing this on a basis. I mean, isn't that what we all want? We all want engagement for our mobile social address book, but how are we going to monetize it? So that's really where our thinking is. It's like, yeah, you got to have the engagement. Great, we've proven the engagement. We've proven that we can even open up the engagement, and now we're going to be proving that we can monetize it.
So I think we've got to wrap this one up. Are there any final words of wisdom for this wonderful contestant?
Just one point from our side. I mean, I think first of all, the application is fantastic. I really like what you guys are doing. The only kind of, I guess, word of wisdom I would suggest is kind of really think about your platform strategy going forward in terms of what your objective is in terms of reach, right? Because this is obviously a service that anybody and everybody's going to want to use. Android undoubtedly is going to be a successful platform. I think most of us, see that, especially kind of, from our point of view as an app store who's pretty much platform agnostic. We think there's a lot of potential there. However, the fact is, this is a mass market application. To reach the mass market, you're going to need to target a lot of other platforms.
Great.
Asurion is a worldwide provider and one of the trusted white label providers to mobile operators around the world. We have over 100 million subscribers that pay us on a monthly recurring revenue. So we can distribute that way, but it's going to take a partnership and all of us working with the value chain. And in fact, some of you I've actually approached in the past because we already do work on your platforms, but there hasn't been movement yet to see that there is something needed to open up the address book as a platform. So that's what we're interested in talking to you guys about.
So unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it up. But thank you so much for sharing mobile and the address book, and thanks to our panelists as well.